Hello there, and welcome to another edition of the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washett, as we get ready for the blackout this week. We're presented on the Husker Online Show by Sartor Hamann Jewelers in Lincoln and Grand Island. We'll hear more from them. We're also brought to you by Out of the Gates by Crani-Yum. And guys, I watched all 18 innings of the Dodger World Series game on Monday night. All 18.
Were you in front of the TV for 6 hours?
The first 16 innings, I was in the basement, and then I went up to my bed and watched the final two on my phone.
Is that right?
It was a mental, but anyway.
Yeah.
Long story short, I've had my Crani-Yum already. I needed to kind of have it earlier. You guys are enjoying yours now, and
Clarity,
mental clarity, nootropics, energy, natural, 100% natural, no fake colors, no sugar. Phenomenal drink, and we're always pleased to promote and Crani-Yum because it's something we'd be drinking anyway.
Yeah, Rob also watched this game in its entirety.
No, I got home at like
10
something after basketball, and I got to watch like a full 10-inning baseball game still. Like
You watched the whole thing as well.
But because
you watched it from there.
yeah, I got to watch the 1-0 game. I didn't get to see the 5-5 game. I got to see the 1-0 game.
So you watched it till 1:55 in the morning is my point.
Yes.
You guys were both
I
up till
closed
2 o'clock.
Well, because of Crani-Yum, though, I'm here and I'm rolling, and we've got
Nootropics are flowing.
great deal for everyone that wants to try Crani-Yum. Use the promo code HuskerOnline at drinkcraniyum.com. You'll get 10% off free shipping. You can use that code as well, unlimited times. It's not a one-time code, so you get the best deal you're going to get on a case of Crani-Yum sent to your house with free shipping at 10%. Promo code HuskerOnline. But let's get into the blackout, guys. Nebraska's gone all in on this week and what it is. You saw Nebraska roll out that mannequin in the media room. All the social media pages are turned black for the week for Nebraska. You get the sense that this is something, Penn State does their whiteout. You get the sense Nebraska is kind of trying to brand the blackout game.
See how it works. I think it's kind of exciting, actually. I want to see how much red is actually in the stadium. Will people blatantly go against it? And I always think of it as like a sprinkled donut and see what that looks like.
Most people wear black coats, and it is going to be coat weather. How many people own red coats and white coats? I think black is a fairly common.
I don't know the breakdown on that. That's a good.
But I think your coat, though, I think your coat is going to kind of like determine the blackout.
Rob.
Yeah, and I'm not overly worried about that, but it is interesting to me that just at every level, how much they've embraced this thing. The fact that they've every coach has worn all black. Did you notice that? Holgerson and Butler both wore black today. Rule black on Monday. It's like a full-on thing. The black flags waving on the stadium. Everything is really dialing into this. Like Sean mentioned, all the social media stuff too. But even the
press release,
even on the basketball stuff, it's an all sports thing where they're doing everything in black for this week. And so this is something that's new in the sense that we've never seen the university go all in on a color scheme change like this. And it sounds like this is going to be an annual thing under Matt.
So yeah,
this is the first every year.
You know what they need? I'll tell you what they need more than anything. More guys that look like that mannequin. That's what hit me. Look at that mannequin is like 6'6", 270.
It's like David Hoofkin as a mannequin.
Yeah. Or like Winery. They need about
just put the mannequin out there.
Like 15 more guys that look like that damn mannequin.
It's funny though how much they've embraced black. There was a time when Trev Alberts was the AD and he was trying to, cancel out all the black.
Yeah, good point.
And now it's gone full circle.
There's the mannequin. God, Megan is ridiculous.
They're embracing the black. And
look at that dude's arms.
Jacked.
Yeah, that's Steve Sipple in the uniform right there.
That's not.
But anyway, this game, NBC night game. And by the way, we won't learn the UCLA kickoff until Sunday morning.
Okay.
We don't know. What we do know is Nebraska volleyball plays at 2:30 that same day on NBC, the Peacock. So it makes sense for that UCLA game to probably be at night.
Oh, great.
Basketball's playing at 12 too.
So 6:30. My projection is the Peacock or NBC involved at some level of the night game, if I had a guess, for that UCLA game.
Okay.
Peacock's production's good. I know people kind of laugh at it, but I watched a bunch of their basketball games, and it's like high level.
It could still be NBC though too.
Yeah,
because NBC. I mean, they haven't announced any of the games yet for like the big windows.
I'm not complaining. It is what it
It'll
is.
be 4. If it's 6:30, it's 4:30 LA.
You'll be watching it from the press box anyway. So
I was selfishly hoping though for a 2:30 kick.
Yeah.
Which is 12:30.
That would have been perfect
at the San Gabriel Mountains. But yeah, USC comes to town. Lincoln Riley has kind of rebuilt this team to fit the Big Ten. They went heavy in the portal. They got bigger on defense. They got better athletes. They've got depth at running back. As John Butler said, you kind of hope when teams bring in that second and third running back, there's a drop off. There's really not a drop off. So it's a deep, talented offense with now a veteran quarterback in Maeva who's averaging 10 yards per completion. And you've got a team now in year 2 of the Big Ten. And I think they've adjusted a little bit as far as how they play in their roster.
Well, they're the number 1 total offense team in the country. They're averaging 42.4 points, which is 5th. That's 5th nationally. 7.98 yards per play. That's 1st nationally. John Butler had all his notes today and was telling us all that. And if you're Nebraska, it's time to reverse some trends. I mean, Rule is 0-7 against ranked teams here. He's Nebraska under Rules 1-7 in the month of November. Good in October, 7-3. Got to start getting November. You got to start hitting November. I mean, that's what this game, a lot of it means to me. You got to start winning in the month of November.
It sounds like that's been the message going back to the offseason. Listening to Dylan
Raiola
today, he said that that was something that Matt Rule has been preaching. It's like what you do in September means nothing. Like all that matters is what you do in November, December, January. And so like that's kind of the whole mentality. I think that they understand what the record is and the failures that have happened in the month of November. And so they have an opportunity now. Like as bad as things have been over the years, this is another chance, like you said, to reverse that trend. And I mean, there's a lot at stake here. Like you could make the case.
Yeah.
This might be, considering like what is at stake for Nebraska, the biggest game of the Matt Rule era. I mean, just considering that I think Mitch Sherman phrased it well. It's almost like a college football playoff elimination game. Like, because if you lose, you're officially out of the picture. If you win, you still remain in the conversation, at least to some degree. So, like, I think that plus the opportunity to jump back into the top 25, like, there's a lot on the table for Nebraska in this one. And for that to happen, they've got to reverse that November trend.
And I do like the break that you get this game in Lincoln. I'm looking at USC's schedule history. It's practically unheard of for them to travel this deep into the country in November.
Is it?
They'll play Oregon on the road in November, but you study their history of scheduling. Notre Dame's always in October when they go to South Bend, but Notre Dame, when they come to USC, it's in November. So to get USC to travel deep into middle of America for a game at night, I mean, I do think that's a intangible advantage for Nebraska this week.
Weather is, I saw a forecast high of 50 on Saturday, low in the 33, which means you could get in the 30s.
The real feel will be colder too.
Yeah. Once that sun goes down.
And it's 80s and 90s in LA this week.
Right. Now people will scoff at that. Some people, I don't really scoff at it. That's night game, cold. I think that does favor Nebraska against a team like USC because of what Sean said. They don't play these kind of games.
The travel component too. Like just look at the records of West Coast teams heading east and vice versa, going west. Like the travel, as much as coaches and players want to downplay it, like it's like statistically a real thing. And so like there's something to be said for that part of it too, is that, there's the travel element of flying halfway across the country for this game.
You know what? They don't all downplay it anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't. Not all of them do downplay it.
They sure don't.
I just wonder, will they come out Thursday for a night game, or will they still fly in? Will they fly in
You're
Friday?
gonna go over to the Graduate and check it out. I think they stay. Do they stay at the Graduate?
A lot of the teams do. Some stay at Embassy Suites, in La Vista.
In La Vista.
And I mean, there's been, I want to say Lincoln Riley when he was at OU, or I guess what Brent Venables. There's been some teams that have stayed deeper into Omaha at the downtown Marriott before. So it's all over the map, but the Graduate is probably where most stay now.
Who was the head coach for the 10-3 game that Nebraska won?
Bob Stoops.
Yeah, Stoops. It was Stoops.
It was 2009.
Yeah, I'm going back a ways.
It's like 17 years ago, old man.
Flashback.
Show your age.
Seems like yesterday.
But yeah, look at the USC schedule. Last year, the November was Seattle, LA, Pasadena, LA. I mean, they don't come into true Big Ten land very often. Like their schedule this year, their November is into Lincoln, LA, Eugene, LA. I mean, so they gave Nebraska a break to take kind of an offensive geared program and to put them into something that's 50 or 60 degrees colder than what they're coming from. So we'll see if that even factors out, or if I'm just overplaying that.
We'll see on that.
Well, this is something we thought about, like when the West Coast teams first joined the league. It was like, how were UCLA and USC going to handle playing in Big Ten weather this late into the year? Now we'll finally get a chance to see that.
Yeah, when they were in the big Pac-12 too, was the same way. They never really left, obviously, that region of the country. So this is going to be a unique trip for them, and I want it to get colder. Hope it continues to get colder for the forecast. But all right, when we come back, let's talk offensive storylines heading into USC. You're listening here to the Husker Online Show. Back here on the Husker Online Show, Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washut. We're presented by Sartor Hamann, your go-to for fine jewelry, watches, and master craftsmanship. Sartor Hamann has been serving Nebraska and the Midwest for 120 years. Check out the patent Heartland diamonds, custom cut and polished with extra facets to be the most beautiful diamond you've ever seen. Exclusive only at Sartor Hamann. All natural diamonds, not lab grown. Give her a diamond that you can see all the way across the room, guaranteed to wow her and her friends. Paired with our spectacular gold and platinum jewelry mountings, and you'll have a legacy item that will last you a lifetime and beyond. We also buy old gold and jewelry items. Gold is at an all-time high. So bring in your old items for top dollar and more to trade for new items. Sartor Hamann has been voted best of the year after year. Don't forget our custom Husker items and huge selection of fine watches. Visit SartorHamann.com now. Use Husker Online in the cart for an additional 10% off. Sartor Hamann, the outlet at 12th and O, for 30 to 70% savings every day. And at South Point and Grand Island, Sartor Hamann Jewelers, when only the best will do, a tradition as famous as the Huskers. SartorHamann.com. All right, guys, let's get into offensive storylines for this game on Saturday for Nebraska, because we saw a lot of running the football with Emmett Johnson, 27 carries. I'm really intrigued what the game plan will be, what the formula is this week.
Well, isn't it pretty? I mean, listen, I'm not an offensive coordinator, but we just talked about USC has the top-rated total offense in the country. They score 42.4. I think it makes sense to possess the ball. I mean, limit their possessions, and you have a running back who's going well. He's second in the league in rushing. Emmett Johnson, load him up. Here's the thing, he's fresh.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't look like wear and tear is getting to him. I think they've done actually a good job of kind of bringing him along. So 27 carries last week. I'd go in that range this week.
Yeah, I think you have to. And I think the best part about it is, like, he's more than willing to take on that workload as much as possible.
He wants to.
He was asked how he felt, coming off that 27 carry game. He said, I feel fine. And like, yes, are you tired about people asking you if you can handle big workloads? It's like, yeah, I am. Like,
did he say that?
Yeah, at this point, like, he's to the point where I think he's proven he's more than capable of handling that. And go back to non-conference play. He had such a little workload. It's basically like a game less of wear and tear than maybe some other backs within the league that, he hasn't had to go through. So I think that's not even an issue right now. It's November. It's November, and the games are too critical right now to save things for later. You saved things for right now.
Dana did say, though, they can't do 27 every week like that. I mean,
why not?
Well, I'll go back to Anthony Grant when they gave him 32 against
they did
Indiana,
that in September,
and he was never the same. They did back-to-back like games where it was like 60 carries.
Well, what are you saving him for?
This is a game you don't save.
No, you don't. But these next 2 weeks, then you get a bye. So,
yeah.
But yeah, this is. I don't want to. You hate to say must win because they're all must win, but an opportunity to get a ranked team at home at night.
Last week was a must win. That's why I don't do that.
Yeah, I know, but
that's why I don't do it.
You get a opportunity that you don't get very often,
right? And I'm not necessarily saying it's not because of what Robin said earlier about the playoff. If Nebraska were to be, it's kind of a pie in the sky with Nebraska, but if Nebraska were to beat USC and then go on the road and beat UCLA, and now you have 8 wins, then you start with 2 manageable games left. Yeah, you kind of do start thinking about it. So this is a sizable game for everybody. Now it's a sizable game for 15. It's a big game for 15 because I just hope Dylan operates with a lot of urgency. You can't be casual against a team with this kind of athleticism. Can't be casual at all with the ball. He's better that way. He's got 17 TD passes and 6 interceptions. That's not a bad ratio, really. 17-6. He was 13-11 last year. He's better. He's completing 73% of his passes. He's having a pretty good year. But I would say this: he needs to turn it up a notch in this game if they're going to win.
I agree, because for this team, this program to turn it up a notch, it's got to be 15 leading the way. Mm-hmm. And like you talk about riding Emmett Johnson, and obviously that's something they need to do to win. But to really take this thing to the next level, it's got to be on Dylan. And it's got to be Dylan making game-changing throws and not making the mistakes that you're trying to dig yourself out of an interception and those types of things. And I thought he showed as much progress just in becoming that guy on that final game-winning touchdown drive against Northwestern, which Dana Holgerson said was his best drive yet as a Husker. That I think Dylan kind of downplayed as far as like carrying momentum, but just the confidence of executing at that level in that situation with so much at stake in that particular drive, I think can go a long way in instilling some belief in your quarterback that, not only can you like make the drive when it counts, but like you can play at a high level and do so in a game where they need you to rise to the occasion.
Hey, Sean, real quick. He has made game-changing throws, quite a few of them.
Yeah.
Michigan State made that throw to Corey downfield, right? Maryland.
He just hasn't done it as much early. I feel like he's turned it on late, the Maryland game and the game last week. And, this week he's going to get pressured. Anthony Lucas, the edge, number 6 for them, has hit the quarterback 9 times. So he's going to take some shots in this game. USC's got 4 guys with 14 to 18 pressures.
Yeah. Now here's the thing about USC. They're not great in the interior D line, and they're not really that big. Holgerson went through that. They're good up front on defense, but this is not a line you worried that much about.
They have 110 pressure plays.
Yeah.
Nebraska has 83 in comparison.
Right.
So they're better than Nebraska. As far
as
as getting to the quarterback and getting pressure.
Sure, they're better, but they're not. I don't want to make them into something they're not. They're good. They're good defensively. They're not great. Their stats don't suggest they're great.
Eric Gentry is the linebacker. He wears number 18. He's 6'6", he's 225, and has the wingspan, I believe, over 7 foot.
Well, that's beautiful. But that guy was part of a defense that allowed 182 rushing yards at halftime to Notre Dame. Notre Dame had 182 rushing yards at the half. Okay, I'm not making this into a defense that you should be really scared of, because they're not. They haven't played that way.
We just haven't seen Nebraska stop the run well on their end. You just hope that Nebraska's defense can do their part, and then Nebraska can commit to the ground game with Emmett and get maybe somebody else to help Emmett, because I think you're going to need more than 100 yards from Emmett to win this game.
Yeah, that's why I think there's a fine line between possessing the football, leaning on the run game, trying to shorten the game and do all that sort of thing, because you're going to have to score points against USC. Like, as good as Nebraska's defense has been, USC's offense is potent, and they're operating at an extremely high level right now, as much as any offense in the Big Ten. And so you got to be able to obviously protect your defense and keep them from putting them in bad situations with turnovers and quick 3-and-outs and all that sort of stuff. But you also have to be on the attack. You can't go into a shell offensively. And that's why I talk about, like, you got to lean on Emmett, but Dylan's got to step up and make some big time.
Here's what scares you. I thought the most telling comment, or the most insightful thing said during the coaches' appearances this week, is Rule pointing out that USC is 3rd nationally in red zone defense. You're going. Now that's where, Sean, all those long and athletic guys, they really come in handy down there.
That field gets small. Those
right.
guys get a lot bigger.
Right, exactly. So they're 3rd nationally in red zone defense.
They've given up 14 passing touchdowns, though, in the red zone. On the year.
How are they 3rd nationally in red zone defense? Yeah.
Well, maybe inside the 20 they're better, but total wise they've given up 14 passing touchdowns.
But anyway,
9
you got to close. You got to close if you get in there. Robin's right. You can't really settle for 3 very often.
Bishop Fitzgerald has 5 interceptions for them. They have 9 on the year. He's got 5 of them, and that's their back end safety. So that will be another guy, number 19, that will be a player to keep your eyes on with 5 picks.
I was wrong, by the way. They're second nationally in red zone
Red zone
defense, not third, second.
All right, when we come back, let's talk Nebraska defense as the Black Shirts will face arguably the best offense maybe they'll see all season against USC. You're listening here to the Husker Online Show. And we're back here on the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washut. Before we get into the defensive storylines, we're brought to you by one of our longtime sponsors, Mando. And, you know, it's getting colder out, but you still need that Mando on. And it's kept Stephen M. Sipple smelling fresh all football season.
Yeah, you can have some awkward moments with your significant other. I've gotten man, that smells good. What is that? And they think it's like cologne. I was like, that's just my deodorant. It smells good.
So if you've never tried Mando, it's 100% natural, organic,
It's a true story.
fragrance oil free. It's dermatologist recommended. Other brands just don't match
spray.
up to
Get the spray.
Mando.
Sergeant.
And yeah, they have lots of great products, not just traditional deodorant, spray deodorant, wipes, creams, different things that are going to help you feel better, smell better, and take good care of your body. And if you've never tried Mando out before, we've got a great deal. Just go to shopmando.com, use the promo code Husker, and you'll get 20% off your order plus free shipping. Go to shopmando.com, use that promo code Husker, and again, you're going to get 20% off your order of Mando and free shipping. Thanks again to Mando for sponsoring us here on the Husker Online Show. Okay, guys, let's get into the defense because this is one of those games where you know who's coming in here, Lincoln Riley. He's one of the best offensive coaches, the last 10 to 15 years in college football. And
scary.
He knows how to put yards up, and he's not an air raid guy necessarily. He runs the ball.
Oh, he runs the hell out of it.
And that's what worries you about this matchup is USC, is going to come in with an offense that's going to try to get you off balance and spread you out and run it.
Here's what the deal is. I talked about their D lines. That's not scary. Their O line's more scary because they're really athletic. I know people around here aren't big fans of Jerry DiNardo, but DiNardo. All right.
Jerry Gennardo.
Clarity. I need some clarity. Let me take a drink.
Put
DiNardo.
the gin down.
Wow, Sean, really? DiNardo. Wow. DiNardo impressed upon me that this is a big athletic pullers, guys that move in space, gap scheme. They run power. They'll run outside zone, inside zone, but they'll pull guys, and they're athletic pullers. So, oh God, yeah, Nebraska's gonna have its handful.
They're 3 deep on the running back position. Wayman Jordan, Eli Sanders, and King Miller. All of them have respectable rushing numbers. The duo, they have 25, 33 runs of 10+ yards.
Yeah, they've been banged up there, but according to Butler, you can get down to number 4, and they're good. They're good.
And that physicality and athleticism extends the perimeter too. John Butler was talking about how they have receivers that can play tight end and line up at tight end. They have tight ends that can line up out wide and play wide receiver. And they're not only ability to mix and match personnel, but those players' willingness to block. I think that's kind of been a separator for them in getting that run game going is they've been able to attack the perimeter and utilize some size mismatches against smaller defensive backs. So, when Deshaun Singleton today was talking about stopping their offense, he said tackling. Tackling is going to be the number one thing with this game for Nebraska's defense because they're going to be isolated on the perimeter. They're going to find ways to get USC's playmakers the ball in space, and those one-on-one tacklings, being able to shed a block and get the tackle is going to be imperative for them to keep that offense off track.
And Maeva will run it a little bit. I mean, he's only scrambled 3 times on the year, but then he's got about 12 to 15 design runs where they'll run him, and he's got 4 rushing touchdowns. So he too will be a weapon for them, especially in those 3rd and shorts.
Oh yeah,
he was a year ago.
Yeah, he's a big dude that can run. I don't know what. I don't see his size listed. He's probably about 6'4", got to be in the 230 range, right? He's a problem. And then look at Makai Lemon's stats. The receiver, Makai Lemon, 48 catches. 48 catches. The next highest on the team is 24. Lemon is interesting because he's not long and lean. He's not that that sort of vintage USC receiver that you think of. He's probably, I don't know, if he's 6'1", I would be surprised. So he doesn't wow you when he trots out there, but man, they go to him. That Illinois game, they just kept going to him. They out in Champaign, but they'll have some racehorses too. But Lemon's their best offensive player.
6'4", 230.
That's what they say on Makai Lemon.
Is Maeva.
Oh, Maeva.
Makai Lemon is 5'11", 195.
Right. He's
a little guy.
No, yeah, he doesn't wow you, but he just gets it done.
But he's one of the most dynamic receivers in the country, not just the Big Ten, but in the country.
And Maeva is 20 of 35 on deep throws this year. So he's as good of a deep ball thrower as there is in the conference.
Scary.
20 of 35 for 7. So 20 completions have gone for 730 yards.
Yeah, Nebraska pass rush just so right this year.
And
they got to commit. My read on that is you got to commit a lot of guys to get there. I mean, you got to bring 5.
They dialed it up last week. Yeah. And even though they didn't get sacks, they got pressure when they needed to. Mm-hmm. They altered throws, and they impacted the quarterback's comfort in the pocket. So even if you're not, and they batted some balls down at the line too. So, I mean, I thought that they did a better job of, even though they weren't getting sacks or tackles for loss, they were disrupting plays with their aggression. I think that has to continue this week.
Maeva is really good over the middle between the hashes. He's 39 of 43 on throws of 0 to 10 yards. He's 19 of 33 over the middle for 317, but he's 9 for 12 on deep balls over the middle.
Yeah, you notice I'm not crowning their defense quite like you did, Sean, but I'm not. They're good on offense.
Yeah, but Maeva's throwing, especially in the middle of the field, is going to be a real test for Rex Guthrie and Deshaun Singleton and those linebackers, because he does a lot of damage in the middle.
They're averaging 530 yards. They're the number 1 pass offense in the country. Now, here's a stat, though, that I didn't realize till Saturday. Nebraska has not allowed 400 yards this year.
Something's got to give.
Yeah, Nebraska's not allowed 400 yards.
Because they've done a good job with time of possession.
Yeah, it's the first time Nebraska hasn't allowed 400 yards in 8 games since 2009. You got to go way back. So that's good. That's a feather in John Butler's cap.
I'm very intrigued by the Sierra Wright angle too.
Yes,
with this, obviously, I mean, he's already faced USC as a former Trojan himself last year, and I remember that that was a little chippy, or a lot of talking going on. Guys were talking to him, he was talking right back. I think there was almost a little dust up along the sideline at one point during that game. So we'll see what the emotions are this time around, because it's not quite as fresh. But I'm also curious to see, teams have been shying away from Sierra Wright so much, all season long. Does USC try to go at him a little bit?
I wonder.
Could this be the game where he's tested more so than he's been all season? I would anticipate, just given the volume in which USC throws the ball, the talent they have at wide receiver, and them kind of, maybe wanting to prove a point a little bit.
Nebraska subbed a lot last week. I just wonder, can they get away with that? Because it does drop off when you bring some of those guys that play.
USC goes fast.
I don't know if they'll be able to.
USC goes fast
because they did that just to kind of negate Northwestern's power run game, because they were just getting bigger personnel
because they knew it was going to be running.
Yes, and they were trying to keep that front fresh because of how physical Northwestern was going. I mean, 40 rushes a game. They were anticipating it being a kind of a fist fight. Maybe that's not the case this year, where they need more speed on the field.
This offense is going to look markedly different than Northwestern.
Why do you say that?
Good God.
No. Yeah, this but you got to figure the crowd noise can be an intangible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
colder conditions, the ball, you just don't throw as good when it's cold.
You don't, and the crowd has to bring it.
Staff's calling on it too.
Yeah.
Rule called on it. Butler called on it. The players called on it. They need the crowd to be like Miami 2014, Colorado last year. Good.
The refs you suck chant.
Yeah,
really. Rule like that.
Rule likes the venom. And in a game like this, that can be a difference.
You see that in PBA. I mean, every game Nebraska basketball plays in the Big Ten. I mean, the PBA crowd really gets on the refs.
Refs you suck. You don't hear that at Memorial Stadium very much, do you?
No, that was about as loud as I could ever remember something like that.
Refs you suck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. Then I was walking Bullitt that night, and there's some kids out playing soccer in the playground. They're saying refs you suck. I was amazed.
I was amazed that they got the cheer going as loud as they did. I mean, somebody had to start that.
It wasn't just the student section. Normally that's mostly where it comes from, but that felt stadium wide, and deservingly so.
Yeah,
disastrous call.
A lot of Lincoln High grads out there.
I still don't.
We bring the heat, baby.
Yeah, you do.
I still don't understand how they were awarded a first down on that fourth down.
I've never heard anybody say anything else than that. Of everybody I've talked to is like, that's one of the worst calls I've ever seen.
And
How did they
after
not
review too?
Yeah,
Like, what's the
come
point of review?
That
Come on.
call changed the game. Nebraska would have got the ball back up 2 scores.
Yeah, somebody needs to look into it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just, there were a lot of calls all throughout the Big Ten.
What I'm saying is the Big Ten needs to look into that.
Just hope the mafia is not involved in this one.
Chauncey.
Chauncey. Terry Rozier.
All right, when we come back, Abby Barmore will join the show. We'll take questions in the mailbag. You're listening to the Husker Online Show. And we're back here on the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washut, Abby Barmore joining the show for the mailbag. We are brought to you in the segment by Rocket Money. They are helping you be smarter with your money. Sometimes with the subscriptions, you've got so much stuff going on, that you're subscribed to. Like Stephen M. Sipple will subscribe to 10 different newspapers. He didn't know about any of them. Well,
No, it was weird. It was
they're
weird.
they're going to help you with all that. Keep track of those subscriptions, and they even know the rates, and they'll find out what you're paying. It's like, hey, we think we can get you a better deal, and they'll call and negotiate and get you better rates. It's a great service. With what they're doing at Rocket Money. It's a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has saved users over $2.5 billion, including over $888 million in canceled subscriptions alone. Their 10 million members save up to $740 a year when they use all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Husker today. That's rocketmoney.com/Husker. rocketmoney.com/Husker. Thanks again to Rocket Money for sponsoring us here on the Husker Online Show. All right, Abby, let's get in the mailbag. Where are we going?
Okay. Which should be a bigger focus on stopping USC's run offense or its passing offense?
Start with the run.
Yeah, I think you always start with the run.
They start with the run, and they are and you guys alluded to it earlier. Always remember that Lincoln Riley wants to run it and run it physically. It's not a high. It's a high flying offense to a certain extent, but he wants to run it in a powerful way.
Yeah, and if you don't stop the run, the passing game gets that much better.
I think that's in every Big Ten game. I mean, I've never gone into a game
in general,
unless you're playing Mike Leach or something like.
Yeah.
Stop the pass but yeah, the run is definitely the focus.
Does a low scoring game favor Nebraska or USC?
Nebraska.
Why?
Well, because you're taking away their greatest strength of offense and putting up yards and points and making them play a brand of football that they're not maybe accustomed to. So Nebraska's used to playing low scoring, fist fight type games. They've had a lot of them this year. So I think that would put them. Nebraska's been there, done that, whereas USC might have to try and play a little differently, in elements that they're probably not used to.
Yeah, you go back to 2021 when Scott Frost played Lincoln Riley in Norman, and back then, Nebraska forced Oklahoma to play in Lincoln Riley a Big Ten style game. If you remember, the first quarter, both teams only had one possession. It was like watching a Sunday NFL game, the way Nebraska played them, and that's almost how you want to play them still. I mean, you want to limit the possessions to, maybe 4 per half.
That was a great performance by Nebraska. Overlooked, lost, but I mean, you thought going in this could get ugly. Didn't get ugly because Nebraska played them well. That's how you got to play this game. What's the threshold? What do you got to hold USC to win?
I would say under 30.
Yeah,
I think Nebraska
28.
probably needs to score 31 to win this game.
Yeah, we're on the same page. Keep going.
Next question.
Okay, what are your main takeaways from Nebraska ball's exhibition games?
I don't put a lot of stock either way in exhibition because there's so many unique variables. Like, okay, the BYU game was great, top 10 team in the country, and Nebraska beat them on their home court. But the coaches also exchanged defensive game plans before the game because they wanted to make sure that the coaches knew what looks they were getting, all that sort of thing. So and starters didn't play, there's minute counts, all that sort of thing. So, you take it all with a major grain of sand. I think the biggest takeaway is that Nebraska can shoot it. And for them to reach their ceiling, it's going to live and die on the 3-point line. And you saw that BYU, they hit everything, and they had a top 10 win. Played Midland, and they started slow, and it was kind of maybe a much different looking picture to that first half. But when they flipped the switch and the threes started falling, boom, the game's over. So rink mast and the 3-point line are going to define this season. That's my biggest takeaway.
All right, next question.
Okay. Do you anticipate a better atmosphere versus USC than the Colorado game last year?
Ooh,
That's going to be hard.
question.
Colorado was a unique beast because of Dion, and it was warmer,
And it's Colorado.
and it's Colorado. I mean, there's just some built-in
There's history.
but this will be up there. I'll give you one. Compare this one to 2015 Michigan State at night when Nebraska knocked off Michigan State,
How about Miami?
or Miami. Miami's another
Miami's
one.
different,
That's
too.
kind of a rivalry
They're
game.
teams
Blood
that
rivalry.
Bring out the nasty.
Oh yeah, Colorado is hatred.
Miami.
It's hatred.
When
Yeah.
there's precedent there.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right.
there's not
USC
really-
doesn't have that.
Not really.
Nebraska, though, hasn't gotten very many Big Ten games of this caliber at night. I mean, you go back to Michigan 2012. Remember that? Or Ohio State 20.
Oh yeah, I remember it well.
Ohio State 2012 as well, when Levante David forced the fumble.
I
Yeah.
can see it being like that Michigan night game a few years ago when they almost won it.
Okay.
Remember the 8
That was
Hutchinson?
a
Like, that was
charged
an
stadium.
electric, fantastic atmosphere. But I don't know if
Ooh. Ooh.
like I use the word venom. I'll use it again because I think that's like what Colorado brings out of Nebraska fans. What Miami brings out of Nebraska fans. Michigan and USC.
I don't know
not
though.
Quite.
That night
They have
against
the brand,
yeah,
but they don't have the hatred.
that night against Michigan was charged. If it's
Was.
like that, that
Yeah.
helps a lot.
Yeah. So, but I put those in different categories.
And there's going to be a drone show, right? I mean, I
Oh,
would,
I would hope so.
I would hope like
Sean
the,
loves
He
the-
loves
the light show, the drone
Oh
show.
yeah, and we'll have the third quarter.
So you got to figure Brandon Meyer and his team have a great, fourth quarter lead in
Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck with the drones.
Mhm.
Yes, with the drones.
Hey, I mean, it's a big deal.
I know it is.
It's pretty sweet.
That's
I love
awesome.
it. Oh, I love that. Oh, come on. Nobody loves that third quarter show more than me. I mean, Thunderstruck.
Yeah, and you hope
Maybe
it's a
Sean.
game at that point where that helps kind of set the stage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and if Nebraska ends the third quarter on a high note too, like
It's huge.
It's a big
they
day
just go
for
score, and then there's a change of possession, and then everybody's just fired up.
big day for Nate Rohr on the PA. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
those third down calls are going to be epic.
Wow, this is fun. This is going to be fun.
All right, next
Excited.
question. We got final question. What do
Final
you got?
question. Okay, out of all the steakhouses and restaurants you've been to on the road, which would you take Mike Eckler to?
Astros.
You're going to Maestros?
Yeah, for sure. That's where we're taking him. If we were doing this in fiction, if this is a fictional conversation,
If
but
you made the reservation,
what? No, is that where we go for sure? Right.
I would go Golden Steer,
Yeah, that was gonna
and
be my
I'd
pick.
put
well,
him
I
at
thought we had to be in
the,
L.A.
the Elvis Presley booth.
Okay. Oh, it doesn't have to be in L.A.
anywhere,
Anywhere.
Well,
in
I
the
mean,
Big
yeah,
Ten.
USC's in Lincoln this weekend.
All
So
right.
we're talking any steakhouse we've been to.
Golden Steer.
Yeah.
That's our favorite, right?
Yeah, I mean, just the atmosphere, the history. I would love to hear Mike Eckler like thoughts about sitting in the Sinatra booth and all that stuff. Like,
Golden Steer. Then what?
I like the tornado.
Peter
room.
Luger?
I like Peter Luger. I like the tornado room in Madison.
But you don't put that ahead of Peter Luger.
In terms of history, no.
No.
Peter Luger is the oldest steakhouse in the country.
I'm just thinking about places that would have a vibe conducive to Mike Eckler's.
Oh,
energy. Like,
Okay.
I don't want some fancy schmancy. Like,
All right. I didn't know that's what we were doing. What about that room?
Wine
What
and
about that
cheese
room in
steakhouse.
Michigan State in
Ooh.
East
Bodie's.
Lansing?
Ooh,
Yeah,
that'd be
that's
good.
We're back
Eckler.
there next year.
Saddled up at the bar with Mike. Yeah, that'd be good.
That's Eckler. Dark.
All right, bonus question. Now, hey guys, now that we're bowl eligible, what's your ideal bowl trip?
Well,
Oh, Nashville's fun.
yeah. I mean, so right now we laid out what Vegas,
Nashville, Tampa.
Nashville, and Tampa. I mean, all three. We were just in Nashville. We've just been in Vegas. I want to go to Tampa.
I want
Okay.
Tampa.
I want
Okay.
Tampa.
I'm good.
I want
I'm
to wear
down.
shorts.
As long as it's warm. I don't want to have to bring a coat to this bowl trip. That's
Yeah,
basically
Nashville,
what
you
I
don't
come
get the
down to.
warm. You might get a little
not-
bit.
No, it's not
It's
much
like
different
50s,
than it is here.
60s.
Yeah. So yes, give me Tampa.
Okay, I'll take
Tampa.
Tampa.
They've never played in Tampa. They've been in Orlando. They've been to about every Big Ten bowl but Tampa.
Yeah, just go there so Iowa can't go there again.
It's
for the
Tampa time.
17th year in a row.
It's Tampa time.
Yeah, I mean they're going to have to get to for sure 7, if not 8 wins though to get to Tampa. I mean, because a
Very
lot of
good.
it will depend on the Big Ten. They have 3 playoff teams probably now, so the 4th Big Ten team will be a pretty good team, and that team will probably go to Orlando, and then it'll be kind of a scrum for the next spots.
Mhm.
I kind of don't want to go to Charlotte.
No.
Well, it's after New Year's.
Hey, but
too.
It's like going to Omaha.
Matt Rule going back to Charlotte.
Oh, that'd be great. I'm sure he'd love that.
Storyline.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd love that.
If they won that game, I think he would own the Duke's mayo bath.
Maybe. I don't know. He doesn't want any part of Charlotte, is my guess.
Can you imagine how uncomfortable
I'm sure
that would
the
be?
AD would let people know that too.
Right. I'm sorry, too, about thinking that we had to do an LA restaurant. I don't know what I was thinking.
Well, don't let
I
it
don't think
happen
you
again,
listened to
please.
any part of the question.
You're still upset. I mean, you still want, because we're not going to Maestro's next week in LA. We're going to the Pasadena Steakhouse, like whatever. I forget the name of it, but we're going to go to like the main Pasadena Steakhouse.
Sounds good to me.
I'm sure it'll be phenomenal.
Yeah.
I just thought about LA traffic, and I'm like, you know what? We can get there in 5 or 10 minutes versus 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We're at the point in our lives where convenience weighs a little heavier than it used to.
Listen to you. You're 40 what?
2.
Well, you're the one that turns it in early.
Real early.
You go to bed at 8.
8:30 sometimes.
All right. When we come back, thank you, Abby. We'll close the show with some thoughts on Big Ten games here heading into the weekend. You're listening to the Husker Online Show. Final segment here of the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washett. This segment of the show brought to you by who?
Larson Motors. If you're looking for a new vehicle, maybe because you got hit and your car's totaled, or maybe you just want a new car, how about going for a new experience at Larson Motors in Nebraska City? It's one of the Midwest's only dealerships with all the major brands in one location. So we're talking about Chevrolet, GMC, Hummer, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. It's never been easier. So start your new experience today at LarsonMotorGroup.com or at Larson Motors in Nebraska City. Larson Motors, real people,
Real deals. All right, let's get into Big Ten games. Obviously, Nebraska was a 28-21 winner over Northwestern. Rutgers came back to beat Purdue on the road, 27-24. Indiana continues to do Indiana things. They hammer UCLA in Bloomington 56-6. How about that?
Put an end to that.
Nobody saw that coming. I don't think anybody saw that.
Well, I think people thought UCLA's offense with Nico was going to play better than that.
Yeah,
No touchdowns.
UCLA kind of on a run. I mean, I don't think anybody's. Well, Rick Neuheisel picked UCLA to win.
Oh, his son.
Right. But I didn't see anybody else picking them. But nobody was picking a game like that.
Win by 50.
Right.
Be like picking against your dad.
Hey, now hold on. Indiana now has scored 56 against UCLA, 63 against Illinois. All right.
They're unbelievable.
70 some against Indiana State. They put a big number on Kennesaw State too.
And Mendoza only threw for 168. It wasn't like he lit it up.
Right. 3 TDs.
Washington, huge win at home. And we called this, most of us did in our picks. They beat Illinois, but Illinois is ranked. And that was kind of a swing game for the standings of the Big Ten to give the Huskies that win. Iowa, another big surprise score, 41-3 over Minnesota. And I think we're all like looking at that game on Black Friday now, even more differently, just knowing how good Iowa's playing.
Well, I think you can make a case for Iowa's the 4th best team in the Big Ten at this point.
That was their only win, though, on the year over a team with a winning record. So keep that in mind.
I will. Thank you.
All of their wins have been against bottom division teams.
They played Indiana tougher than anybody.
They did. 20-15, had a chance to win it late. And Signetti said this game against Iowa will be tougher than the Illinois, which,
Clearly was.
Yeah.
So Iowa gets it done, and Gronowski played well. They don't put up big stats. They just play. They do what they do.
It's Iowa.
Yep.
Oregon got pushed a little bit by Wisconsin.
They did.
21-7. Oregon did an onside kick
To start the game.
That to me shows me they didn't have a whole lot of respect for Wisconsin, where they're just like messing around. And the score reflected that. Like, that game should have been a lot more lopsided than a 14-point game.
And they got that onside kick, too.
They did.
That's one of those sometimes there's night games that are hard to get up for. That's probably one of them. Like, usually a night game is kind of more meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
And
good point.
For Oregon, the game they played at the whiteout at Penn State. That's not really a.
Oregon is showing that they're not in the class of Indiana and Ohio State. That's the only thing. They're clearly third.
And then
third
Michigan got a big win over Michigan State by 11, 31-20. Justice Haynes, 26 carries, 152. So he surpassed Emmett Johnson in the total yards category. He's played one less game, though, too.
Yeah, he's number 1 in the Big Ten in rushing. Emmett's number 2.
All right, moving ahead to week 10. Now we're on the Big Ten. Penn State, Ohio State, which, preseason, this is always regarded as possibly the game of the year. Well, it still made big noon kickoff. It will still pull a big television rating. But the question is, what will Penn State look like in this game?
Here's what I would say about that. Ohio State's got the best defense in the nation. Penn State won't be able to score enough points to win
with a backup quarterback.
Yeah, they won't. I mean, put a number out there. I'd say
it's 21 right now.
Yeah, if Penn State can get to 17 points, I'll be surprised. I don't know that they can get to 17 in this game.
No, neither.
Rutgers at Illinois. Kind of a big game for Illinois. I mean, I think if they want to have the kind of record they want, this is one they have to get after a tough loss.
Look at Illinois. Look at their schedule down the stretch. It is easy. They got that. They got the best November. They have to have. God, Megan's amazing. Look at their November. Rutgers, Maryland, Wisconsin, Northwestern. They should win out.
Yeah, they could be Tampa or Orlando if they take care of business right.
Yep.
Like they could steal that spot. Purdue at Michigan. That's another one. Indiana at Maryland.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of games with big point spreads. Indiana's a 21.5. Michigan's a 21-point favorite over Purdue. Michigan State at Minnesota. Big game for Minnesota to get bowl eligible.
Okay. Big game for Minnesota. Not much of the nation's eyes on that game.
No.
Jonathan Smith might be coaching for his job a little bit.
Brian Kelly's name being mentioned as a guy to watch if Michigan State open. He's got the Saginaw State, Central Michigan.
He'd fit there. That'd be a great hire for Michigan State. In fact, if I was the AD, I'd start behind the scenes working it.
I'd look at Brian Kelly for Penn State.
Okay.
I mean, he fits the culture there.
Yeah, came after that. I mean, the only thing, Sean, I'd push back a little bit. I like him, but man, he had it unraveled at LSU.
And he's too similar to Franklin and kind of has that hard edge to the media and the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Franklin kind of got that at the end.
Do you think it'll take him long to get rid of that Cajun accent?
Probably really hard for him.
Family.
Probably difficult for him to lose.
He's so rooted in that Southern culture,
He'll be counting the money. No, he will coach next year is my prediction. I think he's probably not happy.
The Michigan State job is an interesting one. He can probably do better, though. That's the thing.
Michigan State can get him on the cheap because the salary will be paid for by LSU. So they could get away with paying him $5 or $6 million.
You know what my thought is on that? He'll do better in Michigan State. He'll have a chance to do something better.
Yeah, with how many jobs are already open?
There's 12
there's
right
now.
now.
More to come.
Yeah, there's 12 right now.
I want to see what UCLA does.
Yeah, me too.
Can they actually get somebody? Or are they just going to promote Jerry Neuheisel and Tim Skipper?
If I was no, you can't do that. You got to go get somebody.
But then will they support that somebody?
Well,
yeah.
But yeah, not a big week for TV ratings. I mean, the Ohio State, Penn State, Nebraska, USC will be the highest rated games in the league. But SEC is crushing the Big Ten right now in TV ratings.
Really?
More ranked teams.
Yeah.
So you got more ranked.
Are they? You've seen that, the ratings?
Yeah.
Really?
There's been a lot of content about that in the last 2 weeks. The SEC is crushing the Big Ten.
What's Petiti? What would he say?
I mean, the problem is Penn State's down and Michigan is still not like the Michigan that we know.
Right.
And USC is hanging in there.
Right.
Where in the SEC, you're getting a rating with Vanderbilt versus Missouri.
Right. No,
When
you're
your
right.
best
Way
team's-
deeper.
When your best team's Indiana, that's not a national draw.
Uh-uh.
As fun of a story as they are and as crazy as their turnaround has been, think people down in Tuscaloosa care about watching Indiana?
That's not good for the Big Ten, Sean.
It could help push more expansion, though. I mean, something like that, the data could lead to getting like Florida State to the Big Ten just to get another ratings piece.
Notre Dame would help.
Well, Notre Dame would, yeah. I mean, the dream two to me, if you could have had Florida State, Notre Dame, Miami, even those three, that would do something to the ratings.
Sign me up.
Does Miami get good TV ratings?
I think
I don't know.
they're hit and miss, but they are a brand.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good this year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you add a lot of it too is if you're on a 3-letter channel versus a 4-letter channel. I mean, if you're on network versus cable, it's a big difference. And the Big Ten has 3 network spots a week. And the big ACC does, or SEC does as well. They have 3 spots on ABC.
They're just much deeper with good teams.
Yeah, their 3 good games are generally a lot better week over week than the Big Ten's big 3.
Yep.
So All right, well,
Interesting discussion.
guys. Post game live this week will be out a little bit later.
That's okay.
Probably a midnight 12:30 post game live.
Okay.
So it should be a big one. Nebraska USC blackout. Thanks again for joining us. For Abby Barmore, Steve Sipple, Robin Washed, and our producer Megan on the back end. We'll see you Saturday for Nebraska USC.